Coach, we saw the status change for Aaron Gordon. How is
the status change?
Yeah, how is he doing in his recovery?
He's out, so that's the status. But he's getting better. He's getting closer. But he's just not ready to go out there and play. Just a live game just yet, unfortunately. But hopefully, inching closer and closer day by day.
And Nikola, as a follow-up, just how's he doing?
He's doing all right. He's feeling better. Still questionable for tonight. Last couple of days, obviously, was in really rough shape, but he's definitely trending in the right direction. So just going to see how he feels, how his body reacts to moving around a little bit, and then we'll make a judgment call at that point in time.
What's he had? This flu game situation? What's he?
No, I think he hasn't tested positive for anything. He's just sick.
What's the biggest concern when it comes to Brooklyn tonight?
As I told our players, we went through their personnel, and I said I bet a lot of money that most of you guys never heard of some of these players or have any idea where they played. And I've said this many, many times in my 10 years here. This game is scarier than playing Boston, than playing Cleveland. And I mean that. And the reason why is because they have players that are getting a chance to play. And when you're a player that has not been in the NBA, you're fighting for everything you get. You go out there and you attack and take advantage of every minute and every opportunity. And if we think that we can just show up tonight and beat Brooklyn because a lot of their marquee names are out, then we'll lose. And we've seen it before. And I just hope that we have the maturity to go out there and handle our business. And even if we play great, and this is the NBA, anything can happen, but I just want to make sure that we give them the respect that they deserve. On top of that, the things that jump out to me is lately they've been scoring a lot of points off turnovers, a lot of points in transition. They have a lot of players, literally 1 through 5, that will rebound and push the ball in transition, that will attack the basket. They get to the free throw line a ton. Last 5, they're top 10 in free throw makes and attempts. And we're coming off of a game, Katie, where we gave up a season-high 40 free throw attempts to the Clippers. And we're 30th in the league. For those that don't know, there's only 30 teams in the league, so I just want to clarify that. We're dead last in fouling jump shooters. So we got to defend without fouling. And the last thing I would say is the rebounding. I mean, I think against Detroit, they had 20 second chance points, and against Indiana, they had 20 offensive rebounds for 33 points. And that's not just Day'Ron Sharpe off the bench. That's all their bigs, all their smalls. They all crash, and they're playing extremely hard. And we don't have to match that. We have to exceed that.
When they don't have they've obviously lost D'Angelo Russell for tonight specifically, when they're operating without a primary ball handler other than Simmons, how important is it to try to turn them over as much as possible in a situation like this?
Yeah, I mean, you want to, I think it's always like staying true to your identity. And I think the more aggressive we are early, hopefully allows us to get out and run. If we can force turnovers, as you said, Ryan, to get out and run and score off those mistakes, not playing a walk-up half-court game. And hope is a dangerous thing. And my hope is that we can find a way that we get off to a great start. Our bench comes in the game, continues to play at a high level. And, in that second half, this is the beginning of, I think, a long road trip for them. But, yeah, if we can score off our defense, that's always a benefit.
Michael, you've continued to encourage Christian to shoot kind of regardless of results. So December was a tough month for him from 3 especially. So what have you kind of seen from him as he's navigated the kind of like ups and downs of his 3-point shot?
Yeah, I was talking to him one day, and we were talking about, listening to social media. And I said, you take my advice, man, don't do it. And he said, well, it's just funny. I got off to a really good start, and everybody said I was great. And then in December, I don't have a good month, and everybody says I can't play. And, for Christian, he just got to be Christian Brown and attack the basket, run. He's one of the best transition players in the NBA, and the numbers back that up. And when he's aggressive, he's really effective for us. But when he's open, he's got to shoot the ball with confidence. He puts a lot of time into his game, into his shooting in particular. And if he goes 0 for 2 on wide open shots, I want him to shoot the next one. Because if he starts hesitating, what happens is we only had 12 turnovers against the Clippers, I believe, which is a great number. But 4 of those were passing up, not Christian necessarily, but us passing up wide open shots, dribbling into a crowd and turning the ball over. So, I want all of our players to be aggressive and confident in everything they do while staying and having an attack mindset overall.
Coach, if Jokić does play tonight, assume he's on some kind of immense restriction. Is there any kind of a dilemma on who to bring in for him, DJ or Dario?
No dilemma.
Is DJ?
We'll find out.
Well, who's going to tell you?
I am. I'm the head coach.
Okay.
Michael, no, you talked a little about Jordy back in Brooklyn. I was just curious if there was a memory or a moment or anything during his time here where you could kind of see the head coaching potential.
I can't remember just one instance. I think it was just over years. And again, obviously, my history with Jordy going back to Cleveland when he first came over to the United States. After he was in Vegas, Mike Brown took him to Cleveland. So I think just knowing him then and following his kind of career and taking over the Canton charge and being a head coach in the G League, his experiences with the Spanish national team, the Nigerian national team, now the Canadian national team, and just a hunger and an appetite for learning and growing, and his ability to just relate and get along with the players. And you could just tell that it was just a matter of when he was going to be given that opportunity. And obviously, Brooklyn gave him that chance. And been a tough year for them. But I think when you look at everything they've gone through this year, the trades, the players, and all that, the most important thing for Jordy and any young coach is to establish a culture. And then as you add pieces to that culture, then the wins will come. That's like what I try to do here in year one, 10 years ago. But before the wins are going to come, you got to create an identity, you got to create a culture, and I think Jordy's on his way to doing that.
Julian's had double figures 4 of his last 5 games. What have you liked from him recently, and what do you want to see more of?
I always like, when he's aggressive, when he's, attacking the basket, when we run plays for him, when he shoots the ball, when he's open. I think he has the ability to be a really efficient scorer for us off the bench. And he can do it in lots of different ways. He's just not a jump shooter. He gets downhill, and he's a really good finisher, which is great to see. And then his challenge always, and I would say this for probably all of our players, is always going to start on the defensive end of the floor. I think Julian's a very good team defender. He's been really well coached. He understands the game plan. He's pretty disciplined, but just continuing to take pride in his one-on-one defense and fight and push. And if a guy's going to score on you, make him earn it. But yeah, I think the more he plays, you can see it happening night in, night out. He's just getting a little bit more aggressive and more confident as this season reaches a halfway point.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, everybody.